that seems about right. Alright. Let's get to it. So how are we starting this? Fucking buddy's got the Andrew Tate pose going already.
I think I just started doing this in the sauna and I couldn't stop. Shows power.
Shows power. Something like that, eh?
Or the Illuminati.
Yeah. So welcome back. This is podcast. Should we say number 1 or should we go number 2?
No, we talked a lot the first one, so I'd say number 2.
Number 2. So yeah, welcome back to 2Men1Cup. It's a fucked up name, but we're gonna stick with it.
Yep. I'm Jacob.
I'm Ricky. Today we're gonna just talk about, I don't know, some random things, just all over the place.
But our main point will probably be like what it was like living with our parents and now living on our own. Across the country. Maybe
even mention a little bit about addiction that we've had in the past. What drove us to change, to get out of a small town, get into a new city. What else? I'd like to talk about maybe a little bit about like people that motivate me to be a better me, I guess. Like what drives me to
people that overcome things.
People that influence me.
Just prove that you can do anything.
Yeah. Some people that I look up to. I don't know. How should we get to it?
Yeah, let's get started.
So, what motivated you to make that leap of moving out here, just quitting the job that you had and pursuing something that you enjoy doing?
We talked about this a little in the first one, but like, first off, I just wasn't happy where I was. Yeah. And like, why be somewhere where you're not happy? I was making a lot of money. I had a good life, what people would call a good life. And I was safe, secure,
comfortable.
But I just wasn't happy, so I needed to make a change.
Yeah.
And this felt like the best opportunity for me since you were going to give me a place to live.
Yeah. And
yeah. There's not much else to say.
It's pretty funny how it worked out. Like, so Jay came out during Stampede. I told him this is the best time for you to come down. It was my first year at Stampede. I was like, might as well come down. We'll enjoy it together. I'll take the time off, and we'll just go all out, spend the money that we have. We ended up spending $4,000 between the both of us. Just drinking, going to every concert that we could go to. And we had a fucking blast. Like, we went to Banff, checked that out, enjoyed it, had a great time. And then I came up with this idea of, like, why don't we start a podcast? And I said, we can name it 20-Year-Old Problems, and we can just talk about the shit we've been through and, like, what we want to achieve later on in life, or, like, what we want to grow into as a person. So, we didn't stick with the name, but that's what we're going to mainly talk about mostly is just the shit we're going to be going, like what we go through and what we have gone through.
Yeah.
I'll go into what motivated me to come out here. During COVID, I had a lot of loss in my family. I lost my grandfather that was sick for 5 years. And then I had, my uncle was taking care of him. And my uncle was this person that was like a father figure to me growing up. Like, my parents split up when I was 1, and he was the one that was providing my mom with like diapers and food for me because my mom was only working part-time. So he was that father figure that showed me like hockey and taught me how to skate, just someone that I looked up to my whole life. And then he got cancer during COVID. And while this was all going on, his daughter, my cousin, had a brain tumor. So there's been a lot going on for the past, I would say 5 to 6 years, because she got a brain tumor when she was 8, and now she's 12. And now my uncle passed away. It can be really hard not being around family, but it's also, it was nice to get away from the negativity, because it's just being around it constantly, the shit that's going on in your life. Like, if it's always negative, it's hard to find a happy place for yourself. And so when the last thing I talked to my uncle was about, like, the goals that I have in life. Like, I told him, like, I don't want to be that regular person that works that 9-to-5 job like he did. Like, he worked a great job, worked for the city, was a sheriff, like, he worked as a border patrol. He worked jobs that was helping his community, but he hated what he did. He never enjoyed it. But he made enough money that his family was comfortable. They had everything they needed. But he was not happy. Like, he got everything that he wanted to be comfortable, and then he ended up passing away. So he told me, do what you love. Do what you're like, if you feel like you're gonna regret it later on in life, just do it. Like, don't have any regrets, because time is a very valuable thing. You don't know how long you have in this place. So don't take the time that you have for granted, and do what you want to do with your life. You have full control. And, like, that's why I think we're doing this right now, is because I don't want to be, 40, 50 and be like, oh, I wish I would have done this when I was 20.
That's one of my main reasons. Like, I almost got scared into doing this.
Yeah.
Because I had a cousin who was around 20 years old, maybe a year older than me.
Yeah.
And she also had a brain tumor, and she ended up passing away, past couple of years. And it made me realize how short life can be, and how valuable your time is here on Earth. And it just made me want to do something crazy with my life. Like, do something that would make me happy and take a risk to have an amazing life.
Exactly.
If it works out, nothing could be better. And if it doesn't, you get the experience of a lifetime.
You could say that you tried.
Yeah, you can tell your kids that you chased your dreams.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that, and they're not willing to, because they're in this secure, comfortable space.
Exactly.
And honestly, I'm just chasing happiness, and it makes me happy what we're doing, and why wouldn't I do it?
Exactly. If it makes you, like, for us, I think it makes us both happy. We enjoy what we're doing. And if that's, like, that's all you really need, like, if you enjoy what you're doing, then keep doing it. And eventually maybe good things will come out of it. Like, we've met lots of people here in Calgary that make content, different types of content, and all they say is just stay consistent and be yourself. So that's why I think with, like, me, with making TikToks, I'm mainly doing, like, motivational TikToks, and I see a lot of people doing that nowadays. It's like gym motivations, and it's just, you don't really get to see me be myself in these TikToks. You don't get to see my personality. You're just seeing a quote from somebody. Yeah, it's inspirational, but I think I can be inspirational towards you guys, like, motivate you guys to strive for what you want to do.
Well, that's our goal here. Like, we want to motivate you guys to do what you love to do, follow your dreams, and just be happy like us.
So I think it's a big thing for me. Like, that's why I came out, was he told me to do what I want to do, and I mentioned Calgary to him. He's like, hey man, just go out there, don't think of everybody else, do what you want to do. You have control of what your life direction's going to be. And it sucks that he's not around, but I can be thankful that I'm taking this negative thing that happened and turning it into a positive.
Yeah.
Like, shit's gonna happen. You're gonna lose people in your life that you really care about. But if you can actually take that negative thing that happened and turning it into a positive, you just grow so much more as a person. Like, I'm just very thankful that I had him in my life, and I still have my family that supports me. I know at times, like, my parents wish I'd be going to school or doing something like everybody else, following the system. But I told them, that's not what I want to do. I want to try and go for like just try and do what like my dream, like making content, learning how to edit.
And it's never felt right, has it?
Like it never felt any better.
Working a job.
Oh no, it
never
hasn't.
felt
Like,
right.
like everyone, I get asked, like I'm 20. We're both 20, and the amount of times people ask you like, what are you gonna do with your life? What kind of career do you want to pursue? You'd be great for this. You'd be great for that. And then it just makes me realize just like sorry, I lost track there. It just made me realize like all these careers that people are mentioning that I'd be good at, it's not something I'm interested in. Like none of these classes, like I'll go on like university websites and look at courses and stuff. Nothing interests me because I don't want to work that 9-to-5 job. I want to pursue something that it shows my creativity and my personality and my ideas, and I have full control.
One thing with me is I wanted to stop pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
And at a job, like the jobs I've worked, I have to be someone else.
Yeah.
And it builds this other person, and it builds this depressed person that goes to this job every day, puts on a smile, and just works his life away.
Yeah.
Most of his life he's working.
Exactly. And
I just can't see myself doing it.
there's just so many jobs out there that are very tedious. They make you so numb to the brain that you're not really thinking of what you're doing. Your life is just, it's like you're living in a movie.
Yeah.
You don't have control.
No.
And I come to realize that when I'm working, like I was working 2 full-time jobs. There were some weeks I was working like 170 hours.
Yeah.
It was like,
Your year
fucked.
probably just flew by.
And my whole year went by so fast. I was only getting 4 hours of sleep when I started going to the gym because I wanted to wake up, still go to the gym, eat, get to work, and then I get done work at 4:30, start work at 5 at another job. And it's just, and then I work there till 12. It's fucked. It's like, oh yeah, the paycheck's nice, but you have no life.
No.
And it's so hard to make friends and hang out with people and get like connection with people, like just having a conversation with somebody. You can't even do that. Don't even got time to take a fucking shit, man. Like, it's brutal. So it was nice for the time being to see what it was like for that year. I gained a lot of money, but it's not worth it. Like and out here, like everybody goes in the oil rigs. But their life just goes away. The saddest thing for me is you see somebody that works for the oil rigs, they're gone for fucking 20 days, comes back for 4 or something stupid like that,
Spends
and they
all their
have
money.
a family.
Yeah, but then they spend all their money too.
They spend all their money in those 4 days.
One of the
it's just
saddest
burning.
things, it's how much coke's in the oil rigs.
Oh yeah, so much coke. Like, well, it's because they're constantly working. They're working their ass off, and the only thing that's keeping them going is they start doing a little bit of coke, and they're fucking addicted because it keeps them awake, keeps them going, and it's such a shitty thing to see. But they have the money to afford it, but it's not the right thing to do.
No.
Like, I get that you get this nice paycheck, but there's so many people out there that are doing it that could be doing way better things for themselves, that they can still provide for their family and be happy. Yeah, you might not have the fucking brand new truck, but that doesn't matter. When you die, that you're not taking the truck with you to your grave. What you're taking with you is your memories and like what you fucking done.
Your fucking child growing up.
Yeah. Like I just don't want that, man. Like, and I know everyone's like, well, why don't you just go to school? Like, you can get a good job doing that. Then you're going to school for fucking 8 years to become a doctor or dentist or...
Yeah, there's only like 5 good jobs.
And then you hear these people that did go to school, they're still fucking paying off their student loans and they're 50.
Yeah.
It's fucked, man. Like, I don't want that for myself. I don't see that being making me happy later on in life.
Yeah.
Having this fucking bill that I gotta pay for. Yeah, I know I got this skill, but I'm stuck doing that skill.
for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life. What if you go to school for 8 years
And
you don't fucking like it because you can't even try
one
it?
thing that gets to me is I can go to school, become a carpenter and all that.
Yeah.
And then work a job where I don't have a pension.
Yeah.
So I went to school, and that's the big thing that people push on you. Pension,
Pension's key.
benefits.
Yeah.
They push on you, and then they say go to school. We go to school for this business or whatever, and it doesn't help us in any way whatsoever.
Not at all. Doesn't. The saddest thing for me, like seeing our close friends pursuing something that their parents want them to do. They're living in someone else's
I
shoes.
just noticed I said carpentry.
Carpenter. But yeah, they're living in someone else's shoes. Their parents got full control on what they do. They're telling you, you got to go buy a brand new car because that makes you look good. Shout out to Aiden. I fucking love you, buddy.
Yeah.
But I'm just
Also, shout out to Aiden. I didn't mean anything.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I fucking love you, buddy. But this is one of our good friends. His parents got a little bit of control on what he does, which is it's understandable. Parents do that. They want to do what's best for you, but sometimes just telling your kid you do what you want to do.
Are we getting into parents now?
We're getting into parents here now.
Okay.
So let me just fucking explain Aiden for a second, because I'm not trying to insult him. I'm just trying to say, like, he's going to school for carpentry, to become a carpenter or whatever. He's done 2 blocks. He doesn't like his job.
No.
But you know what he told me? He's like, you know what's keeping me in here is I get benefits from it. My car breaks down, a mechanic can fix it. I'll do a little bit of work for his house.
Well, before I left, he said he was done.
Yeah.
He said he was going into business.
And I like seeing, he said he was going to try business.
And I think he would have been fucking fantastic.
I think he would do good, yeah. What I like seeing from him is now that he's bought a camera and he's trying to do something that he likes, and I'm hoping that he'll actually take that and try and make a career out of it. Do carpentry on the side, sure. You can gain some money that way. But try and pursue something that you love. Like this guy, he's so smart and he has so much potential. And that's the saddest thing when you see a friend. Like, we got lots of friends. We got Gage too. Gage, he could do plenty of things for video editing, making YouTube content. But he's got nice cars. He's had nice cars. He can make content on that. Like, I see so much potential in my friends. It's just sad that when their parents are trying to force them to go to school for something they don't like, and they do it.
And like, just to be clear, they're fucking great parents.
They're great people.
Yeah.
Their parents are great. They want what's best for them, but sometimes you just got to take a step back and say, what would you like to do? We don't have any control on what you do. We want you to decide yourself. And if they change, I know they'd be upset.
Yeah.
Change their path. It's part of growing.
The parents would be upset.
The parents would be upset.
I don't think the kids would be
No, they'd be
upset.
happy because they're going to try something they actually have more passion in. Like,
when I saw Aiden take photos, even of me at the waterfall,
yeah. His photos are great.
Loved it, and he had a shitty camera.
Yeah, and
he loved it.
Now he's bought a nice camera, and his photos are fucking fantastic.
Yeah. And you can actually, like, I could see that.
I could see him
he
going
was
somewhere.
smiling on his, like, he had a smile on his face the whole time.
He's happy doing it. That's why I just hope that he tries and pursues something he likes, and he takes a step back from his parents' opinion. I fucking love his parents, but they have a little bit too much control on what he does. Like, the kid's 20, he's gone to school, he doesn't like what he's doing, switch it up.
Yeah.
That's why I tell people, don't rush into school. Take a few years, take a year or two, figure out what you like. You go to school, you can't try the thing you're going to school for unless you're taking a trade. Trade, you can try it. And then if you like it, do your courses.
Like my close friend, he's in engineering.
Yep.
He has never touched a machine in his life. Done anything with engineering.
Yep. Like, you don't know.
You print 3D models,
Yeah.
and like he
Engineering's
might hate
wild.
it. Like he's
Yeah.
a fucking genius. I think he could have done anything in his life, but engineering.
Yeah, it's just like it's just sad seeing these people that they go to school and they know they don't like it, but the title makes them look good, and their parents want them to do that. So they feel like I need to continue doing this.
Yeah.
It's just like a fucking little system that the government's
Well,
made.
mine was, I was kind of influenced towards linemen.
Yep.
But I started to realize they never really like pushed me towards it. They kind of just gave subtle hints. And the way I was raised, I kind of like, I took what they said to heart mostly.
Yeah.
So like everything they said, I took pretty literal. So lineman was like the best job in the world.
It's a great job
And
for New Brunswick.
that was always in the back of my head. I was like, if I ever don't choose something, it'll be lineman.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying they push it on me because I don't think they did. I think they said it so much that I almost felt like they were pushing it on me.
Yeah. Well, it's because they did it their whole life.
Yeah. And
Both your parents did.
both of them worked for that same company. My aunt works for that company. My sister now works for that company, and my cousin under my aunt.
And it's one of the
worked for
best
that
companies to work for.
Back home.
And I would say, in New Brunswick.
Yeah. And I worked for that company.
Yeah.
And it's a good company, but it's not what I want to do. And it took me a long time to realize that once I got on my lineman path.
Yeah.
My path became, I need a job so I can have a family, so I can have a house, and so I can get everything done like that.
Yeah.
And then
They want you to be set up and be prepared as soon as possible.
and then funny enough, what made me really realize something was my coworker, his name was Max. He's this funny older man.
Yeah. You always got that one guy.
Yeah.
Old guy.
And he said like that someone was working towards engineering, like some guy he worked with before, and then he just asked him, he's like, do you really want to be an engineer? Because like he just wouldn't get excited over it or anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, his dad was like head engineer in NB Power.
Yeah.
And so he was like, why don't you chase something that you want to do? And he told me this story, and it was a lot longer. I'm not going to explain the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he ended up chasing his dreams. Like he did something like, I'm not sure what he did,
Yeah.
but like it was something out of the ordinary, which is great.
It's good. Yeah.
And
Good
he
for
told
him.
me that, and that was a year ago. And that's when I decided, I was like, so I had an extension coming up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, my next extension, whether I get it or not, unless I become a lineman, I'm coming to Calgary with you.
Yeah.
I chose that 6 months before I came here, made that decision.
Yeah.
And I forgot about that for a long time because like I felt so like driven towards linemen my whole life because I was kind of
yeah. Well, your parents did it, and
Yeah.
everyone told you it's a great job, which it was.
yeah. And then once everyone thought I was gonna become one, it got a lot harder. They're like, you know how I know I didn't want to be lineman? Because there's written tests, and I would not study for them. I said I studied for them. I didn't study for them at all.
You just weren't motivated.
Yeah, I'd get 85s on them, and like that's fine because I understand what was on the test, but I just would not study because I wasn't motivated because I didn't even know why I wasn't studying. And it's because it's not what I really want to do.
Yeah. You weren't passionate about it.
It's something I feel like I have to do. Like now I'm doing personal training and I study every goddamn night.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoy learning about everything because it's going to come in play when I start working in that industry.
Yeah. What did your parents think of you coming out when you first decided that you were going to come?
They never thought I was going to come out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they thought it was a bad idea, but they also thought it was a good idea because I was going through a lot, taking a lot of stuff harder than I should have back then. and dealing with a lot of stuff. So they thought that would be a good idea for me to come out here.
Yeah. Taking harder, what do you mean?
A year.
Explain that.
What?
Explain what do you mean by that?
Taking stuff harder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, shit happened between me and my ex.
Yeah.
And I just took it pretty hard. Then I started like drinking and using other methods to get over it.
Cope. Yeah.
And it wasn't like, it wasn't good for me. Like I basically became addicted to alcohol. Not that I was addicted, but like if I drank, I got wasted, did something stupid. I went on like a family trip to Beethoven, and I acted like a dumbass because I was hammered. And then I ended up like messaging her and deleting her and adding her. And like, that's when I realized
it's not good,
that was the night I realized that I had a problem. So that night I kind of quit. Like I might have drank once after that, once or a few times, because I came up here and we had a few nights of drinking, but that's it. And then, but I was fine up here. It was weird.
Yeah, I was the same way. When I was going through, my uncle going through his cancer treatments, and also when my grandfather when he passed, I got into marijuana pretty hard because I was just trying to block out my emotions with marijuana, and I smoked so much, and most of the money that I was making working the job that I had was going towards that because I was just trying to get my mind off it. And my brain just came numb to everything around me. And it makes me regret certain things because my uncle would FaceTime my mom every night and he'd ask for me, but I was trying to act like it wasn't actually happening. I was trying to act like he didn't actually have cancer. So I would smoke to the point that I just would be able to look at a wall and enjoy doing that. It was so bad. And I ended up losing 60 pounds in like 3 months because I just wouldn't eat. And I was just so depressed. Even like suicidal came to my mind. And that's when I knew, like, when he was gone and he told me that I should do what I want to do and not regret anything in life. I decided, you know what, I had an opportunity out here. I had a family friend that lived here. And I was like, I'm going to take that leap. There's nothing here that's keeping me happy. So why should I stay? My mom wanted me to stay because I was an only child, but it wasn't good for me to stay. Like I needed to get out of there. So I ended up leaving, and then when I left, I didn't touch weed ever after that. It didn't interest me. And then I wasn't drinking either. I was just focusing on myself. I didn't have any friends out here when I first moved out here. Besides the family friend that I was living with, but he worked construction, so he was gone for most of the time. So I had to figure out what it was like to enjoy my own company, which I recommend everybody to try and figure out how to be happy with just being alone.
Well, since I wasn't out here when I started my little addiction healing thing, I basically took to myself. I did a whole dopamine detox, so no drugs, no alcohol, no other things. I'm not going to talk about those. And I basically just learned to be okay by myself. I'd go watch a sunset, go to a waterfall, stuff I'd never do. I'd read.
It's good.
Go to the beach alone. And it was honestly some of the best times of my life, weirdly enough. And I enjoyed every minute of it. And then when I started to like be okay with myself again, which I wasn't. That's why I took things harder than I should have, because I wasn't okay with myself. I was putting things on other people that were to deal with, that I should have been dealing with. And once I started to deal with that, people started to come into my life that were good for me, which was new for me. And I just started making decisions based off like my happiness and what's good for me, not other people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I came out here too. But
you come to realize who's gonna be there for you and who is good for you. Like, if I didn't come out here, I wouldn't have realized who I had that actually supported me. Like, I had about, I'd say, good 3 friends, 4 maybe, you know, that would contact me, keep up to date with how I was doing. Family, not so much. Family just fucking disappeared. I mean, I know the phone works both ways, but I was working 2 full-time jobs. I couldn't keep up. So the only people I talked to is my mom and my dad, stepdad from time to time. But it's just, it makes you realize like that it's your life to live and not someone else. You don't need to follow everybody.
That was a big thing.
Because we followed a lot of people back home. When we were in high school, we were the followers. What everyone else wanted to do, we did. And if they wanted us to do something for them, we would do that. We were the nice people in the friend group that fucking did everything for our friends.
Yeah, exactly.
But they wouldn't do anything for us if it really came down to it.
Well, like, before I got kicked out of the friend group or whatever, everyone would come get high at my house and go in my pool and stuff. Yeah. In my basement, I basically had people over every weekend in that basement for the longest time until I got kicked out. Getting kicked out was probably the best possible thing.
It is, yeah. Like, you realize when you move away, who you have that's gonna, like, who your real friends are.
Yeah.
And you may have that feeling that you should get out of a friend group, but they're all that you have. I'd say just take that leap and say, fuck them. It sucks to be alone at first, but you come to get comfortable in your own skin, and I would go out to see a movie alone. Yeah, to some people that's pretty sad, but I still try to find things that I enjoy doing on my own, and I loved doing it. Like, yeah, it sucks I didn't have anybody, but I had myself, and I got comfortable being by myself. And I think you need that to find yourself some people that you can have a connection with, and to have in your life and realize that they're going to be good for you.
One of my strong beliefs is I don't actually believe you can be happy if you're not happy alone by yourself.
Yeah, you need that.
Which I actually gained here mainly.
Yeah.
Like, since I'm in school most of the time studying, I gained that here. I learned how to be content with just being by myself and not really having many friends here at the start.
Yeah.
We're gaining some now, but like, yeah, and it's like, once you're truly happy with yourself, it's honestly amazing how much life gets better.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of skipped right over the point about like my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
we'll go back to that. Yeah.
So yeah, my parents were
we kind of talked about that a little bit last podcast. So
yeah, we kind of brought back, like, we kind of went into addiction pretty far and stuff. Yeah, my parents wanted me to come out here for that reason, all that reason. And probably I don't know how long it would have taken me to, like, be okay with myself and, like, stop drinking back home, because there's not much to do back home. And everyone drinks. And
everyone lives for the weekend.
Yeah. And yeah, but like, also they didn't want me to come because I had a safe, secure job. And I was comfortable there. And like, they wanted me to stay there, become a lineman, find a wife, live out my dream there. Which I don't think I could accomplish my actual dream there. And then, like, eventually, now they support me. My dad a little, I can't tell, because he wants me to do a trade. But my mom completely supports me, because, like, I don't think they ever chase their dreams, and they want me to chase my dreams. Which I'm happy about. But yeah, and not many friends support me.
No.
All my gym friends.
Have you had any contact here?
With every gym guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, one of them's moving to BC here soon, and I'll probably invite him here. Yeah. It's like a 2-hour plane ride.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's only $170.
Flying in Canada sucks.
Yeah.
It's so expensive, man. Like, we're going home for Christmas. We'll probably end up making a podcast down there. But
We could actually ask our parents what they think about us.
yeah, I don't know if I'd want my parents on a podcast.
No?
No. Talking to our parents for like an hour and a half?
No,
straight?
that's not what I mean. I mean, just like,
Oh.
you think I'd talk to my parents for an hour and a
I was
half?
going to say, it's
Man, the truth would come out.
Yeah.
About what they actually think.
it's not good, yeah.
No, we'll just hand them it and be like, say something nice.
But yeah, the flights to go back home are just, they're not cheap. Like, we spent close to $1,200 to go back home. But
Each?
No, for the
We
both of
we
us.
spent
No,
more, I
no,
think.
we spent, for the both of us, it was like 2,000 actually.
yeah.
Fuck. But I wasn't even gonna plan on going back just because it's just, the money is just crazy.
Yeah, and I just got here, so.
And yeah, he just got here in September, but I haven't seen my family in a year, so
Yeah,
it'd
and
be nice to go back.
I don't know. A lot of my family members are old, so I kind of want to see everyone.
Yeah. We're not gonna say why. I think everyone
Yeah,
knows.
You know why.
So I'll explain what my parents thought of me coming out. My mom was not supportive. I'll just be straight up.
Is she now?
No. I'm an only child, so my mom took it very hard for me leaving.
I think she still wants you to go.
And just because we had so much going on with family, she wanted me to be there with her to go through it. I did not want to be there to go through it.
No, but it's not your right to.
No. And when something bad happens in my family, my mom, she likes to try and be there for everyone, but she also becomes very negative, just because she has a hard time dealing with stress. But so when I left, she took it really hard. She really wanted me to go to school. She still bugs me to go to school. I'm like, well, I keep telling her, I don't know what I want to do, so why would I go to school? But, you know, she's just going to keep agging me on, or I don't know the fucking word, just keep bugging me to keep going to school, but I don't know what I want to do, so I'm not going to do that.
There's only, yeah.
I love her. She's a great mother, but I don't know. She doesn't see a reason for me doing this.
Yeah.
She doesn't see the bigger picture. She doesn't see me being happy because I'm not home. So I only talk to her once or twice a week. So she doesn't really see me changing as a person in a good way from doing this. But eventually I think she'll realize that me pursuing my dream is the right thing to do. My stepdad supports me all the way. He supported me when I first made the decision to come out. He said it'll be good for me, and I think he knew that I was going through a lot.
Most people aren't gonna believe it's good for us.
No.
Until we have something to prove that it's good for us.
Yeah.
Which is gonna take a while, but we're willing to put in the time and work to do it.
Exactly. Like, I'm only 20.
I'm only 20.
I don't really have too many responsibilities right now.
Like, unless
I
I
don't
meet
got a family or anything like
unless
that.
I meet the love of my life, I don't plan on having kids anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm willing to pursue this until I'm willing to do it till we actually make something out of ourselves.
I can't see us not making something out of
No.
ourselves.
I don't either. We're both very passionate on what we're doing. But yeah, my stepdad, he supported me all the way. Still does. Sometimes he asks me, he's like, oh yeah, how's that bank account looking? You know, if it hurts. The bank account is hurting.
Ugh,
But
yeah.
I'm still striving. I'm still doing good. I'm still going strong. There's still money in there. We're good. And I still have a job, so like I'm not stressed out. But it's just sometimes, you know, rent comes in, takes that out of the bank account, and you're like, ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
But I don't have any regrets doing this.
That's a big difference from living back home. The
It
money,
is, yeah.
The
money-
rent, the
The
food,
rent's a little expensive. Food
the
can
rent,
be
the
expensive.
food, internet, insurance, everything.
Gym, supplements,
Oh,
all that shit adds up.
I've always bought gym supplements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
kind of used to
The
it.
crazy thing
or
is,
getting used to it.
I actually used to spend all the money that I'm not saving now, using on like the rent and stuff, on alcohol.
Yeah. Well, like
Probably-
we don't drink anymore.
I must have spent $400 a weekend. It's awful.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice going out and not losing money and not feeling like shit,
Yeah.
and not going to the gym and feeling the, I don't know, the hangover for the week.
Yeah.
'Cause it doesn't last a day when you go to the gym.
Well, like
you
a
can
big
feel
day
your
of
body
drinking
tired.
will take a week of progress out of your body. Like you
Close
just,
to it, yeah.
you're not gonna hold enough water. I'm not gonna get into that right now, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, parents. Then my dad. Well, I was never really close to my dad. Since my parents split up, we were never that close. I'd see him twice a year, maybe Christmas, birthday. Kind of looks bad saying Christmas and birthday, but that's the only time I was, because my parents lived 2 hours away from each other. So the only time I got to see him is if I went to him. And now that I've been out here, he's trying to take that position that my uncle had. He even said this to me. It upset me quite a bit, saying that he wants to be that person that my uncle was for me. That the person I go to talk to hear positive shit. Which is, it's nice to have, you know. It's nice for him to be there. But
And
the thing is, where the fuck was he the whole time?
At least he's working on it right now.
But he's working on it, and I try to just forget the past and just think about the future and grow a relationship with him. And I think it'll better the both of us, because I don't really, to me, like I said, I don't want to regret anything in life, and I think I would regret him eventually getting old and passing away and not having any memories with him.
Yeah.
So it's nice that he's starting to become a part of my life, and he supports me 100%. But at the same time, he wouldn't mind me going to school. It's something that parents want you to do because they want you to be comfortable and safe.
They're just scared, though.
Yeah.
That's why. They're scared for us,
yeah.
and they want us to achieve like these great things that, like, they could.
Well, both your parents went to school, right?
Yeah, but my dad didn't really use it, and
No.
my mom, I don't even know what my mom did.
Yeah,
And
like-
my dad went to Iqaluit for 3 years.
Yeah.
Up north, like in Nunavut, at the edge of fucking the ocean. And he
fuck
stayed there for
knows.
3 years working in a prison.
Yeah.
What does that do for you?
It doesn't do
That's like
anything.
me coming out here for 3 years, doing something I love for 3 years,
Yeah.
and then going back and becoming a lineman.
And
And why would it matter if I did that over like,
Well, you'd be more comfortable financially.
yeah, but I'm gonna have friggin' 2 jobs when I get back.
Yeah.
Like I'll be personal training and doing something else.
But yeah, my mom didn't go to school, and she regrets that. And so that's why she pushes it on me very hard.
Funny thing is, my mom also came out here,
Yeah. Your parents both came.
and they both think it's a bad idea.
But
It's because they're not young anymore. Like they
it's scary to them.
they want us to start our life.
Well, they're
as
trying to
soon as
live in
possible.
our shoes.
Yeah, but like I talked to an older man at the gym, and he's like, "Oh, you should go to school." He's like, "I'm just talking as like a parent. I think you should go to school and like you could do personal training on the side and stuff."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why would I do something I don't want to do?"
I should go to school. But what for? If you don't know what you like, why go to school for it? Waste a bunch of money.
Okay, to me, yeah. Like unless you're gonna become a doctor, an engineer, or like I think there's one other thing that most people say. Like there's 3 things. A teacher. What's the point of going to school? Like I get college a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, but most people like I can go work for K-Line or like a line company.
Yeah.
Get 4 blocks, not go to school ever, and then become a full-fledged lineman.
Yeah. You don't need
Carpenter.
school.
Aiden doesn't have to go to school.
No, he can just get his hours.
That's what he does, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's slowly, you can start to see it now, that people are trying to pursue something they like, which is nice.
Well,
I think, I'm going to say this, I think people like Andrew Tate are trying to show to people that you don't need to follow everyone else's footsteps. He says a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he also says a lot of shit that you can actually take and
Like, from
take that
people like
knowledge.
that, I just try to take the stuff where they're like, I see the bad. Like, there's obviously some things that
Oh, yeah.
he just shouldn't talk about at all.
But everybody says some bad shit.
Exactly. But he also tries to empower men,
Yeah.
which has been it's been going down for a long time, how men feel.
Yeah.
And it's been the opposite for like, anyway.
I don't really want to talk about
So yeah, it's been like declining
fucking shit
confidence in men and all that stuff. And like when we watch stuff that empowers men to do what we want to do, follow our dreams,
Well,
like
it's not even just men.
even Joe Rogan would say stuff like,
I mean,
Like,
it's men and
don't
women.
have regrets.
But don't have regrets. But Andrew Tate, yeah, he focused mainly on men, which is kind of fucked up. He could talk more a little bit about women. They can do the same thing. They can pursue what they
I
want
think
to
he
do.
just got his heart broken.
I think the guy is just he has this character that isn't actually him,
And he has to play it.
and he has to play it because it fucking gets his face everywhere.
Yeah, which is
it
fine.
works. I don't know if that opinion is actually how he feels, but that's what's out there.
No. Like some ways he inspires me, some ways he doesn't.
To me, that the people that inspire me, it's got to be like, because it was when my uncle passed. That was the only person I looked up to. He was the person that was my hero. And that's the only person I looked up to. When he was gone, you need people to look up to. Like, I just came to realize that. Like, I come to realize that, and I started to like Joe Rogan. Yeah, that's very basic, but he says a lot of shit that you can actually take in that's useful.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that inspire me is just people in our local gym, or people that you see on TikTok that aren't very big, but they got like asthma, or they got like diabetes, or they're
Yeah.
going to the gym in a wheelchair. They're still getting up every day, and they have this thing that could affect them, but they're still going to the gym and pursuing this stuff that they love. And another person would be like, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast has Crohn's.
And he's done stuff that no one can do.
Yeah, he's accomplished so much in such little time. And he's one of the biggest YouTubers out there. All the kids love him. I literally seen Mr. Beast playing poker the other night.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was on TV. It wasn't even him hosting it. He was just there playing poker. And the kids at the rink were going crazy because he was on the TV.
Yeah.
He wasn't even doing anything they liked. He's not doing something that's entertaining to the kids, but he's done so much for his image that kids just like seeing him.
Yeah.
And to accomplish that with something like Crohn's it's incredible.
And like people we take it for granted that we're perfectly healthy, but seeing these people overcome something as big as like diabetes or losing a leg in the gym or anything like that, and seeing them become this amazing thing and not using that to like not accomplish stuff, but like
Using it as like a way to not do something.
Yeah.
A way to like I don't want to be offensive. It's just I just think it's nice to see them having something that could slow them down, but they try so hard
it's just like
to do
truly
something they love.
inspiring. Like
It
Terry
is.
Fox is one of my I almost said mentor, but he's one of my biggest inspirations because he
Yeah.
lost a leg and then he did the across Canada, even though he didn't finish it. He did something that changed the world forever.
Yeah.
Especially in Canada. Now every school does the Terry Fox run. And it was just like inspiring to see how one person can change the world with a big a disability as that, and having cancer and beating cancer.
Yeah.
And then like people in the gym or Mr. Beast, like having diabetes, going to the gym, beating it almost, like basically counteracting it.
Yeah.
Or like Mr. Beast just fighting it and overcoming everything in his life.
And I like how he talks about it.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know, it's just to see the stuff that he's accomplished is quite amazing.
It is.
What
It's,
else? I don't really know.
I don't know. It's just like people like that changed my life. Made me view.
Makes you look at life a little differently.
Yeah. Like, I guess I really can accomplish anything.
You can. Put your mind to it. Consistency is key, and if you're passionate about something that you're doing,
Yeah. It made me realize that
great
nothing can
opportunities.
actually stop you.
No.
Like, that's what inspires me about the whole thing. Like, no, we should check if it's
Almost an hour in.
dead.
That'd be funny.
No, it's recording.
Still recording.
50 minutes.
Sweet.
That's probably good, eh?
Yeah, I'd say that's good.
We'll do an exit. Did you actually keep that fucking thing I did?
Well,
When I was like, see
no,
ya.
that ended.
What?
That
Oh,
ended.
thank God.
It cut it out. But I'm keeping this in. This is pretty great. So thank you guys for coming out and listen to our podcast. This is 2Men1Cup, and have a great day, and we'll catch you fucking next time. Look at this great view as well. Fuck.